So Hassan Campbell broke his promise that he created last night on Kwame Brown's live when he said that he wasn't going to speak about him again. He spoke about him. He spoke about him about, I would say, 6 hours ago. And wow. You know what? I'm going to take that back. He probably didn't break the promise. He probably didn't mean it because, see, he was kind of intoxicated under the influence of alcohol. He was drinking that brown liquor. So I don't think he necessarily really meant it when he first said it. I don't even think he even remembers making a promise. But anyway, promise he said that he was never going to say, he was never going to talk about Kwame Brown. He broke it. So he created a video. He uploaded it. And in the video, he stated that Kwame Brown, he believes he's an Illuminati agent. So it's a really interesting video if you want to take a look at it. In the video, he makes a comment that if a man apologizes to you, you should be big enough to either accept the apology, and if you say that you don't want to accept it, then fine. Hassan's argument is that what you shouldn't do is try to put somebody on trial, because what you're doing is you're actually trying to create an audience and bring all these strangers on here to basically ridicule me because I made a comment about you, because I accused you of basically copying my style, and I accuse you of not doing anything for the community, and that you're an Illuminati. You're basically, I accuse you of being a spy, a thief, and a puppet and an agent. So basically, if you didn't want to take my apology, accept it, you should have just moved on. But instead, you basically ridiculed me as an individual, and I came to your live humble. So his argument is that he feels that he's an Illuminati, and that he was doing this for clout and to basically have a larger presence, not just in YouTube, but with his Illuminati puppet masters. Now, I'm gonna say some things. I like Kwame Brown a lot. Kwame Brown is a very smart man. And hopefully Kwame Brown does create a trade school. And I think Kwame Brown, since he's retired in the NFL and the NBA, I think Kwame Brown should become an educator. Like, he don't have to be a teacher, but he could definitely be an educator and open a school. And if Kwame was to do that, Kwame would actually beat Umar Johnson's game. But then, he has made a lot of money, but I don't count people's money and stuff. But however, Hassan Campbell also accuses him of basically stealing from the community because he accepts donations for his CashApp. Even though Kwame says most of the money goes to helping the poor buy shoes and other tangibles, but he does keep the remainder of it for loose change to buy gas. He can do whatever he wants to with donations. This is what it is. Now, Illuminati agent. I'm going to say something. The Illuminati has been this tossed around word going back to, let me see. Illuminati has been a tossed around word going back to 2008 during the 2008 election. Okay? Nobody was really talking about that Illuminati stuff. Yes, we know allegations of certain celebrities were saying it, but the YouTube presence made this word pop. Illuminati is the most used word on YouTube. Hands down. It is the most used term on YouTube. Illuminati. Now, in the old Illuminati, in the old YouTube days, the Illuminati videos was everywhere, especially after Michael Jackson passed away. Those videos are gone. Those videos are wiped out. You can't even find those. But those videos were actually, in a weird way, even though it did kind of like spook a lot of people out, me included. But after a year, I was like, this is interesting. Now, going back to the Illuminati term, what I've learned about this whole thing is that the Illuminati term means light bearer. So it's not this, Illuminati, spoke up. And I'm going to be honest with you. We're all in this matrix bubble. So we watch entertainment, we watch sports, Only the people that live in the Andaman Islands, the people that live in indigenous territories, they're the only ones that are not part of this quote-unquote matrix, okay? Everybody else who lives in mainstream society is a part of it. You work, you use a phone, you're part of it. You use electricity, you're a part of it. You travel, you're a part of it. You exist in the society, you're a part of it. You go to their schools, you're a part of it. You get a paycheck, you're a part of it. You are a part of it, okay? So there's just only so much that we can critique when it comes to that word Illuminati. Now, when it comes to the terms of people who are famous, not everybody who is famous is part of that. But Hassan Campbell did bring up something interesting, which is the word oath. You took an oath. And this goes all the way back to the old school YouTube days of somebody named Yashkara. Yashkara talks about, he doesn't talk about it a lot like he used to, but Yashkara always would talk about people in the entertainment world, people in the sports world, people in the business, powerful politic world taking an oath. And he would say that in order to basically work in entertainment and sports and media, you got to take an oath. You basically can't tell the secrets. Now, what he will also say is that not everybody gets chosen to basically get into that whole upper tier. The upper tier is basically reserved for people that they pick. And he said you could tell basically because things happen amongst their families. They start to make a lot of money. So the money that is made, you could tell when an entertainer is just an entertainer because they don't make a lot of money. They don't get a lot of publicity. Like, for instance, I would say most of Black Hollywood, they ain't nowhere near it. But they definitely keep hush because they have to work. And they've already been around that area. So they can't say but so much. But then you got some that want to be down so bad. And they don't even want you. Then you got some that are in. And they want to run away and get out. But they can't. But you can tell when they're in. Because they're everywhere. And they make a lot of money. Now when I'm saying in, I'm not saying Illuminati. Okay? But I'm saying in terms of that big world, that powerful world, that world of like a Will Smith, that world, when you're in the 9-digit, 9-figure world, not 7 figures, not six figures, not even 8 figures, but that 9-figure world, that's a whole nother ball game. And the same thing in sports. Like LeBron, he's 9 figures. He might be a billion. I think he's on his way to being a billionaire. From what I read, he's on his way to being a billionaire. Michael Jordan, iconic billionaire. Scottie Pippen is a multimillionaire. But Kwame Brown is not. He was nowhere near that. The last year he played in the NBA, he only made $2.61 million as a salary. You got to pay agents. You got to pay all that. And I'm just saying that because this is what I found out on Google. But that's not big. That's not big. That doesn't mean that you're in that club. He's not in that level of a LeBron, a Dwayne, not even a Matt Barnes or a Steven Jackson. And Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, they ain't on a LeBron James level. Okay? LeBron is the last of those big ball players. And Stephen, what's his name? That the high yellow one with the white. Vanessa, I can't think of her name. Vanessa and Golden Gate. Can't think of the name. But Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. They seem like they're gonna be able to. They come up like LeBron and be in that club. But Kwame was nowhere near that club. He wasn't a part. Kwame Brown wasn't employed of the NBA. Let's be real. And it's not a bad thing, because if his team would have won the NBA championship, he would have been a part of that and he would have got a ring. He would have been listed as an NBA champion. So being an employee is not that bad. It's just that you don't get the press like the others do. That's all it is. Most sports people, they are employees. They're all employees. But then only a few are the stars of the show, and then only a sprinkle are the superstars, and then a little few of them are mega. And we know Michael Jordan, Kobe, mega, and LeBron, they're mega. And I want to also say too, Magic is a superstar. Magic don't get any credit. And I'm going to say something. Magic Johnson. You can talk about his son all you want, but Magic Johnson saved the NBA. He saved that. He brought those viewerships up. I have to say that. That man don't get the credit. It's a shame that his career was cut short because of HIV, but he saved the NBA, along with all the, Boston Celtics fans, if you want to say it. Larry King, that whole competition played a huge role. But Magic Johnson, he brought that NBA back and put it on a whole nother level. And people been eating off of that. Especially those people that's been, superstars. And I just want to bring it back to Hassan Campbell. And I want to say this. We as a people, we could say something. And we have our right to believe. But at the end of the day, when you, and just as a person, not him, but when a person puts out that word Illuminati, the only people that get hurt are the kids. Because the kids are coming up who want to become something, and they're afraid. They become afraid, like, well, if I become a teacher, will I be part of Illuminati if I become a principal after I be a teacher? Or if I basically become a doctor, am I part of Illuminati? If I'm a lawyer, am I part of Illuminati? Am I a banker, part of Illuminati? It makes them scared to want to become something. And sometimes people say stuff like that so that people wouldn't become successful. I know people personally have done shit like that. And that's some evil shit. So on that note, I want to say, Kwame, keep doing what you're doing. And Hassan, keep the focus on Africa Bambaataa. August is around the corner. We want to see that man locked up because we know he did that shit. So anyway, signing off. Peace.